When you hear the word Buddha, what's the first thing that comes to mind? For a lot of people, it's things like levitation or maybe mind reading. And yeah, those stories are out there. But today, we're going to uncover the one miracle he believed was truly profound. And I can almost guarantee it's not what you think.
So let's just get this out of the way. According to the ancient texts, the Buddha could fly. No, seriously. But this wasn't seen as magic. It was described as an ability that came from such deep, intense meditation that the body could feel as light as a piece of cotton. This image, right? A figure with these incredible supernatural powers, it's super common, but it's also a huge misdirection from the real story.
Yeah, this whole idea of psychic feats is everywhere in the stories, but it's only one tiny piece of a much bigger and, frankly, more revolutionary puzzle.
So to really get what the Buddha was talking about, you have to know that the texts don't just lump all miracles together. They actually categorize them into three very distinct types. You've got your classic psychic powers, then mind reading, and then this third one, the miracle of instruction.
So let's just quickly break these three down, because understanding the difference between them is absolutely the key to seeing what the Buddha thought was truly important. All right, first up, you have Itipatihan. This is basically all the cool stuff you'd see in a superhero movie, right? Levitation, walking on water, transforming, the whole shebang. Then you've got Adasana Patihan, which is essentially telepathy. But then, look at that third one, Anusasani Patihan, the miracle of teaching. I know, it seems kind of boring compared to the other two, right? But stick with me because that's where the real secret is.
And this leads us to the million-dollar question. If the Buddha could actually do all this amazing stuff, why wasn't he showing it off? Why would he actively downplay such incredible mind-bending powers? This is where the story takes a really fascinating twist. Because the Buddha didn't just downplay these first two types of miracles, he had a really strong aversion to them. He saw a major flaw that pretty much everyone else was missing.
And I'm not exaggerating, just listen to the actual words he used. He said, "I am disgusted, horrified, and loathe psychic miracles and mind reading." Wow. Disgusted? Horrified? Those are some seriously intense words. So what on earth was so bad about these powers in his eyes?
Well, the source gives us this perfect analogy. Think about the gods in ancient stories. They can fly, they can change shape, they can live for thousands of years. But they're not immortal. They still eventually die and face rebirth. At the end of the day, all their spectacular powers don't actually save them from the fundamental cycle of existence.
And that's the real issue right there. Psychic miracles are just temporary fixes. They might solve a problem for a little while, but they don't solve the ultimate problem of suffering and mortality. The miracle of instruction, on the other hand, well, that was seen as the permanent solution. It was the only thing that could actually break you free from that cycle, for good.
And that brings us right to it, the one and only miracle the Buddha truly valued above all others, the one he thought was actually worth the effort. Anusasani Patihan, the miracle of instruction. This was the greatest miracle. It's not about bending the laws of physics outside of you. It's about that moment when a teaching just clicks, when an idea lands with so much force that it completely rewires your inner world. It's an internal revolution, not an external magic show.
So what does this miracle actually look like? Well, it's not some magic spell. It's an incredibly practical set of instructions for training your own mind. It's kind of like learning to be a gardener for your own thoughts. This teaching shows you exactly which seeds to plant and cultivate and which weeds you have to pull out and get rid of. It's all about consciously shaping your own inner world. That's the real work. And the result is lasting freedom.
So this whole thing really boils down to a profound choice that we all have to make. Are we going to chase temporary, flashy powers, or are we going to cultivate something that actually lasts?
The Buddha just wasn't interested in abilities that were ultimately a dead end. He was looking for something permanent, something certain, a durable solution to suffering that wouldn't just fade away. And that's why he chose the transformative power of wisdom over the empty promise of psychic powers, every single time.
And that leaves us with a really powerful question to think about. If the greatest miracle isn't some external feat, but that internal moment of transformation that changes everything, what's the true miracle in your own life?